This is Into the Storm, where winning starts within. The Mental Performance Podcast for athletes, coaches, competitors, and leaders. No hype, no noise, just the mindset that keeps you grounded when it matters most. Let's step into the beam. Have you ever noticed how often people say, I just wasn't motivated today? Maybe you've said it yourself. I know I have. We treat motivation like it's supposed to show up every morning, wake us up, push us through difficult workouts, help us study, keep us disciplined, and somehow carry us all the way to our goals. The problem is motivation is a terrible employee. It shows up late, calls in sick, and disappears exactly when you need it most. The best athletes that I've ever worked with weren't motivated every day. They were committed. But there's a difference. Motivation is a feeling. Commitment is a decision. And one changes with your emotions, the other changes your life. Think about the athletes that you admire. Do you really believe they woke up excited every single morning? Do you think every workout felt amazing? Every practice was fun? Every lift was the personal best after personal best? Well, of course not. Some days they were just tired. Some days they were frustrated. Some days they doubted themselves. But they showed up anyway. Why? Because they weren't living by motivation. They were living by standards. Standards answer a simple question. Who am I regardless of how I feel today? Maybe your standard is I compete with great body language, or I hustle on every play, or I encourage my teammates, or I finish what I start. Notice something? None of these depend on motivation. You can choose every one of them, even on a bad day. That's why standards create consistency, and consistency creates trust. Not just trust from your coaches or your teammates, but trust in yourself. You begin to realize, I may not always feel great, but I know how I respond. That's confidence. Not because everything is going well, but because your standards don't change when life gets hard. So here's a couple of tidbits, one for the parents. One of the greatest lessons you can teach your young athlete is that showing up matters more than showing off. Celebrate effort, celebrate consistency, celebrate keeping those commitments. Those are the habits that last long after trophies are put away. And here's one of the tidbits for the coaches. Ask your team this question before your next practice. What are your standards today? Not how motivated are we to practice? Standards create culture. Motivation creates moments. Championship teams are built on culture, not moments. Business leaders, the same principle applies in the workplace. The strongest organizations don't depend on people feeling inspired every morning. They build systems, expectations, accountability, standards. Because standards keep moving forward when motivation takes a day off. Research on habit formation and high performance consistency really shows that consistent routines and identity-based behaviors produce more sustainable performance than relying on fluctuating motivation. Elite performers don't wait to feel ready. They act according to who they've decided to become. So here's today's coach's clipboard drill. Write down 3 of your personal standards, not goals, standards. Finish these sentences. I always blank. I never blank. People count on me to fill in the blank. Read them before practice. Read them before work. Read them before competition. Let your standards make your decisions. And here's today's direction. Motivation will come and motivation will go. Don't build your future on something that changes every day. Build it on standards. When your standards stay high, your performance has somewhere to return. Long after motivation has disappeared. So if today's episode gave you direction, share it with a teammate, a coach, a parent, or someone who needs a reminder that discipline, your standards, outlasts emotion. And if you'd like practical mental performance coaching delivered every week, join the free Lighthouse letter at coachronmpm.com. So until next time, stand a little taller, breathe a little slower, trust your lighthouse, and remember, winning starts within. This is Coach Ron. No matter how rough the waters get, the beam is still on, and now you know how to find it. I'll meet you back here next time, Into the Storm, where winning starts within.
If you like the show, be sure to leave us a rating, review, and comment.